Metal Jesus here, and I'm back again with Reggie. How's it going, dude?
Glad to be back, bro. And today we're going to do a survival horror hidden gems video. Like a lot of the unknown survival horror gems that I think that are out there. So let's take a look.
Consider myself a fan of survival horror games,
right,
but I've really only played the more popular ones like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, stuff like that. But you have a bunch of really cool games here.
Some of the ones I think that a lot of people might not know about. Yeah. So I want to start off with Hydrophobia. Now this is a digital only release, so that's why I printed out this paper just to show you guys.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird because without this I probably would have forgot to mention it. But Hydrophobia is basically about a girl named Kate Wilson, and she's an engineer. Now she works on a ship. Now this is kind of like in a futuristic world. It looked like it. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, but she's slightly futuristic.
Yeah, she goes to work on a party day, like on a day like the town is celebrating or whatever. She decides to go to work, and that's when everything turns hectic. Elevator ride. She has to get out manually. She has to climb out of it. There's terrorists attacking the ship. Not only that, is that they're flooding the ship as well. So you're trying to stay above water and not drown while you're trying to survive gunshots, trap doors, fires, all kind of hazards. It's pretty much a lot of survival, and it's with water, which is different. You know, water. You don't have a lot of water survival horror games. Maybe that I don't know about, but this is one.
Well, BioShock is the obvious sort of answer to that. But I remember when this game first launched on Xbox Live Arcade, and it was one of those really big sort of. This is what digital games can be, because it was like a AAA quality title. Yeah,
it's top of the line. Matter of fact, Microsoft actually wanted the exclusive rights to it, which they got for a year. But by doing that, it seems that I don't know what happened was it got eventually the rights were up, and then PlayStation got it, but then they got the exclusive version.
And wasn't the original version? I remember like a lot of people talked about how amazing the water effects were, but there were some complaints about the game when it first came
they had
out,
a lot of complaints. Well, not a lot of complaints. Excuse me.
Right.
They had a couple complaints, and developers said, "Oh, we could fix this stuff."
Right.
So they did in the Xbox version, but then they decided to do another version, which was on the PS3, which is called Hydrophobia Prophecy.
Okay.
And that's a defined version of it, and. It's just really, that one feels more solid, but I think people should get both games because they're pretty cheap, so you can see the differences in them. So
I'd like to go back and check it out, because I downloaded, I think, the demo when it first came out, and I thought, oh yeah, this is pretty cool, and then for whatever reason, I just didn't play it. But now, I mean, $3 game.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
It's like an A title, so it's like, yeah, definitely. So next game, get into here. Now this is going to be a tough sell, but
yeah, when you showed me this, I was like, huh.
This is called Amy. Now, this game got pretty much panned by the critics. Now, there was a lot of trouble with the game, like problems like glitches and stuff like that. But I liked the game for what it was trying to be. There's a lot of women who was trying to protect a child in a messed up environment. There's like an explosion happens, and there's radiation that's around there. But the thing about it, everybody's infected with the radiation. The longer you're in it, of course you'll die. But by being next to the little girl, as long as she's with you, she heals you. So that's how you survive. It's essential that you stay with the girl as much as possible, or you will pretty much turn into like a zombie and die.
So not everyone is crazy about sort of escort mission games. Is that the main complaint for this?
It's an escort mission, I would say, but it's just, I think it's compelling because the woman's trying to protect the girl.
Sure,
she's motherly and everything.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. And she's doing what she's not a superhero.
Yeah,
she's a regular woman just trying to protect the child, and I think that's a good survival horror story.
Yeah, that's cool. And you don't really, there's not a lot of games like that I've ever heard of. So.
Not a lot, and you know, like I said, it's cheap too. I mean, I think a lot of people will be able to overlook the problems it has.
Yeah,
you know, but solid game.
All right, controversy.
Yeah, see what people say about that. Next game is another one, Rule of Rose,
dude. So. This game right here, I remember standing in a GameStop like a year ago, seeing that going, is this game collectible? Like, I remember thinking, I felt like I should pick this game up at the time, and I didn't because I didn't know anything about it.
You know,
it's collectible now, isn't it?
It's very collectible, and this game wasn't even going to get released. I was sweating because I thought it wasn't going to get released because I was watching before it got released here. It got the green light, but I just knew it was going to be limited quantity. I got mine when it first came out. It even has the bonus CD soundtrack.
And it's Atlas.
Yeah, it's Atlas. They hooked it up, so
cool.
They still have all the original stuff. Now, basically, this game is pretty much about a girl. She goes to an orphanage, And I can't really spoil too much of the story because I don't want to do that because it's hard not to. But basically, it's about kids that are in an orphanage and a lot of weird things, creepy things are happening. I'll just say that. So, very interesting story. I think if you finish the game, the ending is really satisfying. Gameplay wise, it's not the best, like fighting monsters, but just try to stay out of their way, and you'll be good to go.
That's cool. I'm always looking for those collectible, kind of obscure PS2 games because I love collecting for the PS2. And so I'm kicking myself for not buying it that day.
I know, right? Just gotta be careful because it's going for money now. People want a lot of cash for it.
I know, it's crazy.
Next game is one of my favorites, Hunting Ground. What's cool about Hunting Ground is this is one of the only games I've seen that's pretty much streamed. Like the whole game streams. Like it loads in the beginning, and the game is just spinning on the CD the whole time, so it doesn't really load that. It doesn't load at all, actually. So that's really cool. Like you open doors, no load times, nothing making the game load. But basically, it's about a girl. She gets in a car accident. She's knocked out. She wakes up and she's in a dungeon. She has no idea how she got there. She sees some freaky guy chopping up meat, and she escapes. And pretty much when she escapes out of there, she's in like a castle. Like there's a castle environment, and she meets a maid. She gets new clothes and she walks around. But once she walks around and starts like looking around the castle, she sees that the freaky guy that was cutting up meat likes her a whole lot more than likes her a lot, and starts chasing her. So you're trying to escape, find out what happened to you, and you meet a companion. You meet a dog that helps you out. The dog is pretty much how you're going to attack people in the game. Like if someone. Because she can't fight. Okay. All she can do is kick and maybe throw stuff. But there's traps. There's a lot of people after you. You just got to be careful. Really solid game.
That's cool. I wonder why there was a dog on the cover. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I know, right? The game is funny because the game, you have to treat the dog right. Like, you feed him, pet him, praise him, stuff like that. If you don't do that, the dog won't like you.
Oh, so, really?
Like, if you're attacking the enemies and stuff like that, like, he'll run off and leave you and stuff like that. So he'll dip out. So it's pretty crazy.
That's cool.
All right. So, next one is one of my favorites, too, Galerians.
On PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1. Galerians is really weird because, what sold me on this game was I read the back of it, and it said up to 30 hours of gameplay for a survival horror game, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, okay, let me try this game out. Of course, they lie. That's the first time I realized they lie on advertisement for games.
30 hours of video, maybe, or something? Or was it...
Not even that. They just flat out lied. Anyway, it's about a boy, Rion. He wakes up in a hospital. He doesn't know how he's got there, no memory. But he realized he has these psychic powers. So basically, he could scan doors and see what's behind him. He could figure out puzzles by like scanning the puzzle and seeing what he needs to do on the puzzle and stuff like that. But at the same time, he's infected with a drug, and he needs this drug to survive. So he has all these special powers like psychokinesis, like the physical stuff like that, fire, levitation, stuff like that. But if he uses too many drugs, this meter goes off. I forgot what the meter's called. It's like an AP meter or something like that. If it goes all the way up, he has like a brain aneurysm type thing. So he walks around slowly, and anybody gets close to him, their brain explodes pretty much. That's how you kill some of the enemies in the game. So
wow, this sounds interesting.
It's pretty cool.
3 discs too.
It's 3 discs. I think it's because of the cinematics and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, it has 70 minutes of cinematics. So, so a lot going on there. Oops.
Possibly. But like I said, it's a really good game. I think a lot of people should play, especially into the survival horror. Just be aware, it's got tank controls. So, you just got to...
As a lot of PlayStation 1 games did.
Yeah. So. I like the tank controls for some reason.
Do you?
I do. I feel like it just gives you not total control, which is kind of scary. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
You have total control of your character, and you're not worried about, I'll get away easy. Okay. Next game is
I played this one
called Cthulhu. Yeah,
the original Xbox.
Yeah, this game is
it's exclusive to the original Xbox.
It's exclusive to the original Xbox.
I think it might be on PC, but as far as like consoles, definitely.
This game took me by surprise. I had no idea this existed. This game is freaking awesome. It's eerie as hell. Yep. First person view mode. You have no idea what's going on. You're investigating an insane asylum in the beginning, from what I remember, and you end up discovering that under the asylum there's some kind of alien spaceship under there, and they're they've been doing some kind of experiments or something like that. I can't really remember too much, but I remember there's a part where you go into the future and you go into the town, and you know the town I'm talking about.
Yeah, that town's cool too.
The town is cool, but the people are freaky. Like they're like insane. Like they say weird stuff to you, and they'll tell you they don't like you. You need to get out of here. And if you talk to them too much, they'll attack you. So
you know what I noticed? This is a Bethesda game.
Yeah,
or they published it, or maybe Bethesda made it, but
2K game. Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, Bethesda are known for making awesome games. So.
They really are, man. This is one of the first ones I've seen that they did, so this is pretty on point. Very solid game. You guys should take a look at it.
All right, so this next one here, I was like, ooh, X-Files. They're coming out with a new series.
Yeah, they're coming out with a new series, so it's perfect time to pick this gem up. It's awesome because this game pretty much gives you extra season 7 storyline at the end of the 7th season.
Oh, really?
Just continues it, which is pretty cool with its own story.
Huh.
So, of course, it's got the nemesis, like the cigarette smoking man, Alex Krycek, all those guys that we love to hate.
Yeah.
I'm personally, my favorite is the cigarette smoking man. He's always so chill.
Yeah.
He's not worried about anything.
He's in the trailer, too, have you seen the trailer for the new series?
I've seen it, but I didn't see him in it, though.
I think at the very end, they show a guy smoking a cigarette, and it's implied. So,
oh, man. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm surprised because, games based on TV shows and movies typically can be terrible.
Yeah,
right?
They don't do well. They don't put the time, or they're rushed and stuff like that. But this is done by
yeah.
I saw Sierra on here somewhere. I thought Sierra did this.
Well, Sierra was part of Vivendi Universal for a while, I believe, or something. I don't know how that all worked out.
Well, maybe that's because then this game turned out well. Who knows? Yeah. But what's cool about the game is it's pretty much like a Resident Evil game, but it starts out with an intro, which sucks you in, and then it starts out with the X-Files intro that used to come on TV, so that really sucks you in.
That's cool.
It's really cool. So it's 3 episodes. Each episode has 2 parts. You can play as Mulder and Scully from their point of view, and it's just really eerie stuff, just like from the show. So the game is really nobody knows about this game, so I think you guys should pick it up. It's pretty solid.
Okay, well, that's cool. All right, so Ghosthunter. Now this is a Namco game. I've seen it before, but what is it? What's it about?
Oh, Ghosthunter is about a detective and his boss. I forgot the lady's name, but they're investigating a school for some reason because there's some missing people. They basically go and they find out that there's something underground, and it's haunted pretty much. And this ghost kidnaps his boss, and he sees his computer. The computer tells him where his boss at, and you have to go rescue her. So he puts on this gear, goes in these different dimensions, different timelines, and starts hunting down these ghosts that got loose.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. He hunts down it's like what Ghostbusters should have been, or something like that. But the game is on point. Like, it's just really well done. I was very impressed with it. You get all these assortment of weapons, like you got the ghost trap, which you throw at the ghost when they're weak enough, and it sucks them into their.
Dude, that's just like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, interesting.
So,
if you're gonna copy the best, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that game really did a good job. It's just the graphics are really good, the storytelling's really well done, bosses, the way you fight, it's just really on point.
Namco back on the PlayStation 2 was putting out some kick-ass games. So
yeah, but it's kind of sad that they're just unknown because people should know about this game. I mean, Ghosthunter is like. Wow, it's like
that's a cool cover too,
and you could totally tell this game was pushing the PS2 because it's just on point, man. Okay, there's nothing really I can say about it. It's just get this pickup.
Yeah, I think I will.
All right, another one of my favorites.
I played this on the original Xbox.
Yeah, that's the better system to play it on, from what I hear, graphic-wise.
Yeah, but I mean, I loved it. So
Cold Fear.
Yeah.
Now, Cold Fear is another game with water effects like Hydrophobia.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the other game I was thinking about. So basically, there's a ship, like a Russian ship, out in the middle of the ocean, and they send a squad team to go out and investigate it. Squad team gets torn
ripped apart
by some kind of monster, and the monster looks pretty terrifying because these guys look like Halo guys.
And they're all badasses, and
they get torn up. So they call this guy he's just chilling in the middle of the ocean. He says, "Yeah, I'll help you out," and I forgot his name is Tom Hansen. And pretty much he's on the ship with a team. He starts off solo because they want you to play by yourself. They want you to have people with you. And the water effects, the ship is rocking back and forth.
That's the thing I noticed from playing this is that the whole thing is back and forth. And so you're just like, holy crap. Like you're having to fight.
You will slide off the ship.
Yeah.
If it gets too wet or it's rocking, you will slide off the ship. You can hang on, but sometimes you'll slide right off and not have a chance. It's really cool like that. So water effects are really well done. You're going up against pretty much some crazies, and then there's another monster you're going up against. I won't really tell you about it, but it does an over-the-shoulder view like Resident Evil, which is cool.
It reminded me of that. Time.
And you could do like just regular aim where you just have your guy aim in a direction, so that you can shoot like that too, so which is really cool. So
I found I was able to jump into this game pretty easily.
Oh, okay.
And just really enjoy it, like without too much struggle, which is awesome. So
and it's by one of my favorite companies. They're out of business now, Darkworks. They did some pretty good. Like they did Alone in the Dark, the New Nightmare. Have you ever played that one?
I have not.
That's a good game. They did that one.
Interesting.
All right, so next one.
This is a game I covered on my Wii Hidden Gems.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, and it's good.
Cursed Mountain, Wii survival horror game, which is cool.
I think it only came out on the Wii, I believe.
And maybe PC.
Oh, okay.
But that,
sure.
we don't
yeah,
that. No PC. But Cursed Mountain is about a guy. He's looking for his brother, and his brother's been lost in the mountains. And so he goes up and decides to go look for him.
Yeah.
And he's a good brother for doing that, because climbing a mountain in the cold like that, and just that's crazy. Climbing a mountain is crazy. Going down the mountain is even crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, the game basically, you're in this town. The town's abandoned. And you don't know why it's abandoned. Like, it's just everybody's just here. It's just really eerie. Like cars starting with engines running, and the people are just gone. So you're investigating, and you can't really. You have to be careful where you go, because there's spirits around. If you upset the spirits, they'll attack you and they'll make your guy go crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just really
tread
cool.
Lightly.
Yeah, tread lightly. Basically, that's perfect. So you have an assortment of weapons. Like, you can use your hook axe, to attack some enemies. But most of the enemies that are coming at you that I've seen so far, because I haven't got that far, they're mostly like ghosts. So you have to be careful. So Cursed Mountain is definitely a really cool, eerie game. It's on the Wii, so. There you go.
Yeah.
Survival horror for the Wii.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot, actually.
All right, we're winding down here. Another favorite series. All these are my favorite games. So why am I keep saying that?
Well, so this is another one that I've seen like in stores and stuff like that. I'm like, is that any good? Like, obscure? What is that all about? So, but there's two of them.
There's two of them. Yeah, obscure. I was watching this before it even came out. It was a budget game. $20 for PS2 when it first came out. Basically, have you ever seen the movie The Faculty?
Maybe.
The Faculty is like a teenage horror movie in high school.
Okay.
But basically, they ripped off The Faculty.
Oh, you know what? I played this on the PSP.
You played the PSP version, so you played the second one. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. So,
but you're right. It's like in school and stuff.
Yeah, it's in school and stuff like that. So basically, it's like Resident Evil, but it's like if Resident Evil was 2 players. This is how this game plays. It's pretty awesome.
Right.
You could jump in and out anytime with a second player and have fun. Basically, these kids, their friend gets lost in the school. He disappears, and they're wondering what happened to him. So they decide to investigate the school after hours and everything.
Of course, that's what you do, right?
And that's when the creep factor happens. So they go on their little mishap adventures, and it's really fun. The second game takes place around 2 years after the first game, or maybe 1 year, and they're in college now. So some more mishaps and stuff like that from the first game. But it's a really good series that you guys should check out. The second one's pretty cheap. The first one has gone up in price, so I don't know what it's going for now. It's not crazy, but still, you want to pay cheap for it.
Or you can get the PSP version. I didn't beat it, but it was cool to get.
It was interesting.
Yeah, right? It was interesting.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It played well. So.
And the last game here. Yeah.
How do you say that?
Kuon.
Kuon. Okay.
Kuon. I'm guessing how to say it.
that works for me.
But basically, this is a survival horror game that's like it's basically like you're purifying spirits. It reminds me a lot of Fatal Frame, actually, but not in a camera point of view. Basically, you go in this village. There's a lot of ghosts and stuff like that, and weird monsters and stuff like that. You're trying to purify the area. I thought it was a good game to add to the video.
It's from Software.
From Software, who?
Dark Souls, Demon Souls.
Oh wow! So that's
and they also did a bunch of mech games like
Armor Core. Okay.
I think so. So, anyways, but From Software, they know horror. So
yeah, and I played this game briefly, and then what I played, they did a good job. It was pretty eerie. I mean, it's the type of game, of course, you have to play with the lights off to get the full effect and everything. Right. But
another one that's kind of collectible too. Like you don't see it very often. When you do, it's like $20-$30.
That's my second copy of it. I got that one for $10, and the original copy I got that for maybe $25 because it was pretty much new back then. But now I see it go for $80.
Huh?
Which
really?
Yeah, $80. So
wow, okay.
Make sure you like the game or you want to play it if you're going to spend that much money on it.
That's cool. Well, dude, so many survival horror games here that I didn't know about, and I'll have to add a couple of these in my collection.
A lot of these games I haven't played in years, so sorry if I was kind of like sketchy on the information. But I just wanted to kind of introduce these games to you guys in case you don't know some survival horror games. Maybe you could tell me about some.
And on all the footage you captured. Actually.
Yeah, I was playing. So if I looked like clumsy, that was stuck.
That's awesome. So we'd love to know what other survival horror games should be if we in like a part 2 of this, if we do one, because there's so many, right?
There's a lot.
And I'd like to know too on handhelds, because that's something you don't really hear about that often.
Survival horror on handheld.
It's kind of hard to scare you on a small screen like that, but I think it's possible. Like I mentioned, Five Nights at Freddy. I actually have that on the iPad. of all things.
Oh, I didn't know it was on that. Okay,
Yeah, all of them are on the iPad. And so, just to mention sort of mobile kind of,
Because I'm out of the loop on that. I'm thinking it's like a PC-only game or something like that.
No, they have it on mobile. So anyways, we'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments below, because we're always looking for weird and interesting hidden gems.
Definitely.
Yes. All right, man. Thanks for coming on, dude. Oh, we're doing the bro fist.
There you go.
All right. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and take care. I always have an awesome time when Reggie comes over, as you can tell. He and I have done a bunch of videos, including hidden gems for the Neo Geo Pocket Color, also the PSP and the PlayStation 1. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe because I release new videos every single week. Metal Jesus here, and I am back again with Reggie.
Glad to be back, bro. And
are we supposed to do the handshake?
Oh yeah, I didn't even look and see you. Okay. I
don't know. The bro fist.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, we'll do the bro fist. That'd be something new.
Okay.